What do you get when you combine the talents of Clive Barker, the man who made Hellraiser, David Odell, the guy who wrote The Magic Crystal, and the Ewok from Return of the Jedi? Well, you get the Yattering and the Jack. Episode 7 of Season 4 Tales from the Darkside. Now, with such a all-star studded cast, especially Clive Barker, I've read some of his books back in the day, but it's really Hellraiser. Hellraiser is one of the best horror movies in existence, and for that alone, he should be praised. He's done some other things too. He also wrote the great 1992 movie Candyman that has a great first half and an okay second half, but it has an awesome first half. And even did some video games like Jericho and Undying. So, with a talented staff like this, it is amazing that this episode is, well, it's not good. I'll be honest, this is a bad episode. In fact, doing a synopsis of this episode is almost impossible. Jack Polo is being tortured by a thing called the Yattering, played by Phil Fondacaro, one of the Ewoks from Return of the Jedi. He's a little person, and he's in this crazy devil costume because he's supposed to be a demon. The devil himself sent this demon to collect Jack's soul. And, well, nothing really happens. He tears things up around the house. This is a Christmas episode, so we get to see him tear open some presents, but he causes a lot of G-rated mischief. And this entire time, Jack is being visited by his daughter, Amanda Polo, and he is playing dumb the entire time. He doesn't know what's going on. Oh, there's claw marks on the door. Who could be doing that? Definitely not the Yattering. Oh, there's dishes falling down. Definitely not the Yattering. It's very clear in the first couple minutes that he knows exactly what is going on, and they drag this out until the end of the episode. So the whole episode is the Yattering making things fall down, clawing at the walls, not in a scary way. This is a funny episode. Until at the end, we get the great reveal that actually Jack knew the entire time that this Yattering was doing this, which was painfully obvious because he wasn't bothered by it whatsoever. And we learn that if a Yattering, a demon, comes to claim your soul and he touches you, or you touch him, you now are his slave. So the Yattering is Jack's slave, which is why the Yattering can't do anything. I hate saying that stupid name. Yattering can't do anything besides just make very minor mischief. Jack controls him. He tells him what to do. That's it. Nothing else happens. I don't even know what to rate this episode. I'm tempted to give it a 1, but out of respect for Clive Barker, I guess I'll give it a 2. There's no scares, it's not funny, and it's a waste of a talent. And it also doesn't really make a lot of sense. We see the devil talk to the Yattering twice in the episode, yet it's unclear why the devil can't collect his soul. It's also, why can't the devil just go get Jack's soul? Also, why can't he just get another demon? Also, wouldn't the devil already know that this Yattering was being controlled by Jack? It really is an episode that ends and you just feel like 22 minutes is wasted. He throws dishes around the kitchen and then you find that he was the slave the entire time, which was painfully obvious. That's it. Okay, this reviewer is going to set me straight. Most of the other reviewers, like me, are missing the point. 8 out of 10. The Yattering and the Jack is a Clive Barker story. Why? Because Clive Barker wrote it. Read the original. I haven't done that. I should do that. In one of the books of blood. Sounds scary. If Barker didn't want it to seem like one of his Hellraiser-type blood and gore stories, it's because he didn't write it that way. So if Yattering is more of a slapstick comedy, which it is, it's because Barker wanted to do a comedy. So bad, so sad. It's a fairly accurate adaptation of the story. It might not be a Clive Barker kind of story, but that's presumably because Barker doesn't want to do that kind of story. You get it now, you moron? You can hate the story, but it's exactly what Clive Barker wrote and what Barker wanted. His story, his teleplay. If you want to hate it, hate him. Now, I'm a big fan of Clive Barker, but not everyone bats at 100%. Stephen King's written a billion books. Some of them are not good. The Colorado Kid by Stephen King is a terrible book. However, I would never make the argument that I'm better than Clive Barker or Stephen King. It's like saying Twilight Zone stories like Cavendish, oh, we'll get to those, and Mr. Beavis aren't really Rod Serling stories, because they're over-the-top comedies. That may be, but they're what Rod Serling wanted. They, and Yattering, are the writers stepping out of their comfort zones. So, if I can steelman this position, I think what he's saying is, to say it's not a Clive Barker story, like all of them have to be bloody, is not true. He wrote other stuff that's not bloody, just like Stephen King wrote, like, fantasy books. Still not a great episode. I wonder if they'd, like, cut things out, because there is kind of a Eraserhead. Probably the best part of the story, I guess, is when a chicken starts dancing, like an Eraserhead. I wonder if maybe the original story had it more visceral. I don't know. But if a dancing chicken is the best part of your story, well, you might be getting it too. 4 out of 10. Waste of a good Clive Barker. The Yattering and Jack has the distinction of being an episode of Tales from the Darkside written by Clive Barker. We know that, one of Britain's leading novelists, and he's gay, and short story writers, a guy synonymous with horror. Unfortunately, the decision to make this into a silly, slapstick-oriented comedy means that it's yet another ruined story packed with wasted potential. And goes on to say, if you like watching a dwarf actor running around in devil makeup, then this may be for you. But I admit I was easily bored with the premise. If it had been done even semi-seriously, it would have been a lot better. Yeah, because the demon is no threat to him, and you know that the entire time. They try to do a part where it's like, oh, is the demon going to get him? It's like, I know the demon's not going to get him. He's an idiot. All he can do is break dishes, and this guy controls him. I already know this. Next up is See More Llama, a real comedic episode about a guy who is anointed into a cult, kind of. It has a 4.6, so that's usually a bad sign, but I think I like this one a little more than other people, and certainly more than Yattering and Jack. But that's why I named these episodes Tales from the Goof Side. The dark side is not always there. Sometimes half the episodes are comedic ones. Check out our playlist for all episodes of Tales from the Dark Side. We've almost covered every single episode in order. You just hit play, and you're just entertained for the next 9 hours. We also covered Monsters, Fear Itself, Black Mirror, Mystery Science Theater 3000, Cowboy Bebop, Pep Shop Wars, like a lot.